What is up, guys? It is Zach, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about Super Mario Party some more. Now, one of the biggest things people want to see with... Did I say Super Mario Party? I did say Super Mario Party, did I? Huh. Today, we're going to be talking about Mario Party Superstars, as one of the biggest things, in my opinion, that I really want them to have with this game is a decent character roster. Now, as we all know, Super Mario Party had an absolutely amazing character roster. Over 20 characters to choose from. It was definitely the best roster that Mario Party has ever had. Unfortunately, we're definitely not going to get that many characters in this time around, so I really hope people aren't expecting 20 or more characters like Super Mario Party had. So I'm going to try and keep expectations in check, and I'm going to be trying to predict the remaining characters. Now, obviously, I could just say, oh, this character's going to be in, or this character's going to be in, and just try to create this huge dream wish list, but I'm going to be realistic, and I'm actually going to limit myself to 14 characters. Not 14 additional characters, 14 characters total. And since we have 9 characters confirmed, that means I can only choose 5 characters to say this character is going to be in. So we're going to go through the whole list of characters that have already been in Mario Party, as well as a few new characters that could potentially come to Mario Party, and see what we can, what we can come up with here. So, So, without any further ado, guys, let's get right on into the video. The first character on my list is Daisy. Now, Daisy, I think, is a given, so we're going to bump our number up to 10 out of 14 now, because Daisy is obviously going to be in it. She's a very given character. The fact that she wasn't in the first trailer is actually kind of mind-blowing at all. Like, her character just has not been seen, but it's pretty dang obvious that Daisy is going to be one of the characters. So now we have 4 characters left to choose. So with the obvious one out of the way, we're going to go actually in order for the returning characters of when they were first introduced. So we are going to start off with Toad. Now, obviously, Toad is the host of the game, so I don't think he has any shot of returning, so hopefully you Toad fans know that he ain't going to return. I have seen a few people campaign for Captain Toad to come into the game. I think Captain Toad could be a good replacement, but I don't think they're going to put in Captain Toad, honestly. I just don't see them having Toad talking to Toad to get a star or whatever. Like, I don't see that happening, but Captain Toad, if you guys want Captain Toad, let me know down in the comments down below, because I think I've seen a few people want Captain Toad in this game. Next up, also introduced in Mario Party 5, we have Boo. Now, Boo obviously also will probably not be in this game, given that he steals coins and stars just like he did in the N64 Mario Party games. What I have to say, though, is I don't think he's completely off the table like a lot of people are saying he is, only because, like, Boos are like a whole species. I guess Toads are also a whole species, so that makes Captain Toad be at least possible. But since Boos are a whole species, you could just order Boo to take a star from Boo, or be Boo and ask Boo to take a star from someone else. Because, like, you order a Boo, and then a whole flock of Boos attacks a character. So Boo, I'm going to say, is possible, but I am not saying this character is certain. So we're still at 10 out of 14. Let's move on to the next one, which... Koopa Kid, also introduced in Mario Party 5. It's not gonna happen. We're not gonna get Koopa Kid. Like, let's not even toy with the idea of getting Koopa Kid. It's just not gonna happen. I wish we could get Koopa Kid. That would be awesome, but life isn't that good. So, yeah, no Koopa Kid. So next up is Mario Party 6, and that game introduced Toadette. Obviously, Toadette is the star holder. Obviously, not going to be in this game. Unfortunate, but, it is what it is. Next up is Mario Party 7, which introduced Dry Bones. Now, Dry Bones, I think, is an interesting character because of the fact that usually I won't think out. I'm going to mention this later as we get further into the list. I think because of how prevalent certain characters are in the boards or the mini games, I think that basically just eliminates them as a character. For that simple reason that they're just, like, so common on the board, they won't want, have to be a playable character. But with Dry Bones, I don't see that being the case. Dry Bones seems like a character who won't appear much in mini games and won't appear much on the boards. So I'm actually going to say that I do think that Dry Bones will be a playable character. So that'll bring us up to 11, and I know he might not be everyone's favorite pick, but I think Dry Bones would be really, really cool to see return. He's an interesting and cool character, and yeah, so Dry Bones I think would be number 11. So next up is Mario Party 8, where we have Hammer Bro. Hammer Bro obviously was introduced in that game, did come back for Super Mario Party, but because of his prevalence in a couple of the mini games, I don't think we're going to see Hammer Bro again. It's possible that we could see some variants of Hammer Bro, which I'll get into in a little bit. But Hammer Bro himself, I'm not quite certain if we're just going to see him outright. So, for you Hammer Bro fans, I'm going to say no. Next up is Blooper, who was also introduced in Mario Party 8. I really had a hard time with Blooper. I want Blooper to come back. He was originally going to be one that I was going to say I predict coming, but the more and more I thought about it, the less sense it made. I love Blooper. He's probably like one of my most wanted characters to return, since he's only been in 8 and no other Mario Party. And that'd be awesome, but I just don't think he's going to come around, unfortunately, this time around. Alright, so now we're moving on to Mario Party 9. So let's have Koopa Troopa. Koopa Troopa I don't think is going to be playable because obviously he's the person that gives you the coins on the boards, and he's, he owns the Koopa banks, and it just wouldn't really make sense for Koopa to be playable. Yes, there's a whole species of them, but again, I don't think it makes sense for Koopa to come back. Kamek was interesting to think about. Kamek was obviously also introduced in Mario Party 9. And he's up there in possibility. I do think it is possible for him to return, but I didn't put him as one of my picks, just simply because I'm just not sure if Kamek really fits the bill. They seem to be going for less of the enemies nowadays. I know, I put Dry Bones on this list, but I don't know. I'm just not certain about Kamek, so I didn't put him on. Shy Guy, obviously prevalent in mini games. Even though Game Guy isn't returning, I still don't think Shy Guy will be making his return in this Mario Party, so no Shy Guy. Next up, from Mario Party Island Tour, we have Bowser Jr. Now, this is something that I don't think many people realize, is that Bowser Jr. is seen in a couple mini games as, basically taking Koopa Kid's role. So I hope you guys aren't expecting Bowser Jr. to be playable. I'm saying he's definitely not going to be playable, which is unfortunate because I know we're not going to get Koopa Kid back, and Bowser Jr. doesn't seem to be playable, which is kind of like, I don't know, I would love to have Koopa Kid back so that either Bowser Jr. could be playable, or if they wanted to keep Bowser Jr. as Bowser's sidekick, have Koopa Kid just be a playable character. I don't know, I wish they did something with that, but, there's nothing we can do about it. Bowser Jr. just most likely will not be playable. Next up is Mario Party 10 that introduced Spike. I don't think Spike's going to be a playable character, kind of like Blooper. He's just like a one-off character that's playable in one game. And honestly, I really don't want Spike to be playable. I think he's like the least interesting Mario enemy they could pick, honestly. But nonetheless, yeah, Spike, I don't think he'll be playable, and kind of honestly, like I said, I don't want him to be playable. Next up is Mario Party Star Rush that introduced Diddy Kong. I think Diddy Kong is easily going to fill in that 12th spot. It makes sense for them to bring Diddy Kong back. Obviously, he's Donkey Kong's kind of pal and sidekick. And I just think, I wouldn't be like absolutely infuriated or upset if they didn't bring back Diddy Kong, but I just think it makes sense to bring him back. So yeah, I'm going to put Diddy Kong in the 12th spot. Okay, this one could have debatably been with Mario Party 10, but I don't know. Bowser, obviously not. Very obviously not. Bowser Space's return. He's back to being the evil person, who's not playing the actual game. So, yeah, no Bowser, kind of obviously. Goomba, obviously not. He has a main role on Peach's birthday cake. I think he's in a couple of the mini games like Goomba Spotting, so I don't think he's going to be playable either, so no to Goomba. Monty Mole would be interesting to see come back again, but I just don't think he was a big enough character to really make the main roster, so I'm going to say no to Monty Mole as well. And then lastly, we have Pom Pom. Yeah, I'm going to say no again to Pom Pom. It's just, again, not a big enough character, not a very interesting character. Same with Boom Boom. Not interested in having either of them in the game, to be honest. Okay, so now we're going to be going through the list of new characters they can add that are new to the series, because every single mainline game since Mario Party 5, every single one from that game after, at least introduced one new character to the roster. And even though this is like a best of collection, I do think they might do the same thing here. It would be interesting for them to break that precedent of, like not introducing a new character. Obviously, I'm not counting the handheld games here. I'm counting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Super, and now this. So hopefully they add some new characters, and obviously I got 2 spots left, so I do think they're going to add 2 new characters. So let's get to the list to see who I think they are. The first new character, and I think the obvious choice of a new character, is Pauline. Pauline has been brought into like every single Mario side series now, like tennis and golf, And I think Party is kind of the obvious next step. I do think it was interesting that she wasn't in Super Mario Party at all, so maybe she won't be in this game because she wasn't in Super. But I do think she is an obvious choice, like I said, so to me, she's going to be number 13 on the list. We got one more to go. So next up, also from Super Mario Odyssey, is Cappy. People have been campaigning for Cappy, not as much recently, more so people talk about Pauline nowadays, but I remember back when Tennis Aces was getting released, a lot of people wanted Cappy in, and Cappy was a really popular contender with a lot of the Mario side games, to be a playable character. But now you don't really hear much about Cappy or people wanting Cappy in. At least I don't. Maybe there are people who are hardcore Cappy fans, but nonetheless, I don't think Cappy's going to make it in, needless to say. But, yeah. Let's move over to the world of Luigi's Mansion with Professor Egad. I would love to see him in. Obviously, he's become so much bigger since Luigi's Mansion 3 is nearly like on the top 10 best-selling Switch games list, which is pretty insane. But I don't think Egad's going to be in, unfortunately. So, yeah. And also from Luigi's Mansion, King Boo. I think King Boo would be an interesting character to bring in, mostly because obviously Boo's not playable, so if Boo's not going to be playable, why not bring in King Boo? He's a different character entirely, and it would be really, really cool to see him brought in. But unfortunately, again, I don't think they're going to do it. He's not a big enough Mario villain, I guess, like, comparing him to, like, Koopa Troopas and, all that kind of stuff. Like, he's just kind of a small villain. But, yeah, unfortunately, I don't think he'll come in. This is a character I also, like Blooper, also nearly had on my I think they're going to do this character list. But, this character I think is very possible to come in, but I'm not entirely sure. And that's Koopa Paratroopa, aka the Winged Koopa Troopas. They've been in, I think, Mario Tennis Aces they were in, and I'm presuming they're probably going to be added to Golf, let's be real. They're going to add a bunch of the basic characters to Mario Golf. And I think that it could be cool, it could make sense to see them in Mario Party. I don't think they're very prevalent in any of the minigames we've seen. The only one I can think of that they might be in is like Paratroopa Plunge from Mario Party 4. But other than that, I'm not sure if any real minigames where Paratroopers are, like, heavily featured. But I could be forgetting minigames and just not thinking of minigames from, like, 9 and 10, for instance. But nonetheless, Koopa Paratroopa I think is possible. Next up is Dixie Kong. Obviously, the third main Kong in the family. Or, I don't know if they're family. I don't know the whole family history of the Donkey Kong crew. But at least in the Kong series, Dixie Kong is usually the third people think about. And I don't think they're going to bring her in, only because I think that would just kind of oversaturate the Donkey Kong characters on the list. Like if there's 14 characters and 3 of them are Kongs, I don't know, like, it's not like Mario Kart where you could pad it in with like 5 baby characters and all 7 Koopalings. Like, it's not like that. They're more specific on the characters they choose. And yeah, I don't think Dixie will make it in. But let me know if you want Dixie in down in the comments down below. Speaking of the babies, Baby Mario is another one, like, people are kind of thinking maybe they're going to bring the babies into the series, and I don't think they're gonna. To me, it doesn't make sense, personally. I mean, what do I know, about what NDCube thinks about the characters, but I don't think they're going to introduce a baby character at all. This next one I thought was an interesting choice, just simply because of the fact that he's actually been playable in a lot of games like Smash Brothers and Mario Tennis, and that's Piranha Plant. No, not Petey Piranha. I mean, like, the Piranha Plant in the pipe, just, waddling around in his pipe. I'd actually be kind of, like, not, like, hyped, but it'd actually be kind of cool to see him in Mario Party, to be honest. I think it'd be kind of cool to hop along the spaces in your pipe, and, like, if you're playing, like, Sneak and Snore, for instance, you just kind of go back into the barrel. I don't know, that could be kind of cute and kind of funny. And like I said, he's been popping up, and like I said, Smash Brothers and Mario Tennis, maybe Mario Golf, who knows? And I don't think he's going to be possible for Mario Party, but I just wanted to bring him up. I just wanted to give him a little shout out. So I got one character left on my list and one spot left on my list. And obviously I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but I do think this is possible. I mentioned earlier about Hammer Bro and how he has different variants, like there's the Fire Bro and all that. And I'm actually going to throw in Boomerang Bro here. Just a wild off-ball character that isn't really playable in many games. The only game that you can play as a Boomerang Bro in is in Mario Kart Tour, I think. And I think I'm gonna put him on the list. I know people are gonna be like, why'd you pick a character as random as Boomerang Bro? Because I'm not sure. I wouldn't think they're gonna add Hammer Bro. Because I would put Hammer Bro on the list if Hammer Bro wasn't in like a couple mini games. So I'm gonna say maybe they're gonna add a different Hammer Bro variant. Maybe they're gonna add Boomerang Bro. Boomerang Bro isn't like an absolutely uncommon Mario enemy. You see him in basically like, you know, any Mario game. New Super Mario Brothers. I think Mario 3D Land had him. Maybe 3D World had him. I know Bowser's Fury had Boomerang Bro. So I don't know. That's what I think. So there you guys go. That's what I'm predicting the character roster to be. Obviously, this isn't me saying that this is definitely what the roster's going to be. This is just my prediction of what I think it could be, and I'd actually be kind of happy with this roster. And obviously, I mentioned the ones I think, you know, also could make it in, like Blooper, Koopa Paratroopa, that kind of stuff. Very, very possible, but those characters are what I think they're going to do. So, I would like to thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All the stuff down below. Click on the notification bell so you're notified when I upload videos. And check out the merch store. There's some cool ZakPak merch up on there for you to check out. So, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.